Okay, students, just a couple more videos for this upcoming grammar quiz. And again, these are just for your review. If you were here the Friday before classes left and you remember what we covered and you have the concept of phrases down, you do not have to view these videos. But we reviewed what a phrase is in general. The first video, I went over prepositional phrases. The second one, gerund phrases. The third one, participial phrases. And next, the infinitive phrase. Notice gerunds, participles, and infinitives are all types of verbals. Infinitive phrases, okay? And just to remind you, a verbal is a word that looks like a verb, but does not act as one in a sentence, okay? So a reminder that gerunds and gerund phrases are always nouns. To be clear, act as nouns. Participles and participial phrases act as adjectives. Okay, so then that leads us to infinitives and infinitive phrases. So an infinitive is formed with to plus a verb, okay? So to eat, to dance, to go, to be, to think, to love, okay? Those are all infinitives. It's the unconjugated form of a verb, okay? So an infinitive phrase always begins with an infinitive and any of the complements or objects that go with it. And an infinitive phrase can act as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. And if you recall, that's all three of the phrase function options. So gerund can only do one, the noun. Participle can only do one, the adjective. Prepositional phrase can do two, both the adjective and adverb. But an infinitive can do all three, noun, adjective, and adverb. So let's do some examples. To dance in the street is my favorite activity. So notice here it's acting like a noun just as a gerund would. If this was a gerund, it would say dancing in the street, but it's an infinitive, so it says to dance in the street is my favorite activity, okay? That's an infinitive acting as a noun. An infinitive acting as an adjective, the decision to stay home is important. Okay, so you find the infinitive first, to plus a verb, which is to stay. The whole phrase is to stay home. We stop before we get to the verb, okay? And then we have to think about what to stay home is doing. Now, I've told you it's acting as an adjective, but if this were a worksheet or a test question, how would I find out that this infinitive is acting as an adjective, okay? Well, two ways. One, what question is it answering? And two, what word is it modifying? So the decision to stay home is important. Well, it looks like it's modifying the word decision, which is a noun. So that would make it an adjective if it's modifying a noun, but I need to check it by seeing what question it answers. Well, it answers what kind or which one about decision. What kind of decision? Which decision? The one that is to stay home. Okay, so that is an infinitive phrase acting as an adjective. There are some of those in your packet, so make sure you review those and review the key that I posted on under Campus Web. Let's look at an infinitive acting as an adverb. We struggled to be entertained at home. Okay, right? Some of you guys might be feeling like that right now. I kind of am. Okay, so to be entertained at home, to be is my infinitive. To be entertained at home is my whole infinitive phrase. And it really answers an adverb question. How? How did we struggle? Okay, it's answering the question how, which is an adverb question, and it's modifying the verb struggled. It's telling us how we struggled. So that would be an infinitive phrase acting as an adverb. So remember, when you're trying to find out what a phrase is acting as, you have two checkpoints. One, what is the phrase let's say, well, let's do this. What question is the phrase answering? Okay, if it's answering the question what, it's a noun. If it's answering the question which one or to what extent, it's an adjective. If it's answering the question how, when, why, where, under what condition, or to what extent, it is adverb. Sorry, for adjective, it's what kind or which one. I hope I didn't mix that up. Okay, so what question is the phrase answering, and what word does it modify, if it's modifying one? Okay, so those are your 2 checkpoints to figure out if it's noun, adjective, or adverb. And that is your lesson on the infinitive phrase. So make sure you've done that page in the worksheet and checked it against the answer key. Only one type of phrase left to discuss, which is the appositive. So I'll do that in another video, and then I'll review misplaced and dangling modifiers in the last video. And all of these videos comprise what will be covered on quiz 6.